When we multiply polynomials, we multiply each term in one polynomial by each term in the other polynomial. Our first problem that we have up here is a monomial, 2x squared, times a trinomial. Well, I'm going to multiply every term here, which is just this term, times each of these three terms. So this is simply an application of the distributive property. So it'll be 2x squared times 3x squared minus 2x squared times 2x plus 2x squared times 1. Now you don't have to show this step, but I wanted you to see there's my 2x squared times each of the three terms in this trinomial right here. Now when I multiply here, 2 times 3 is 6, x squared times x squared is x to the fourth, minus 2 times 2 is 4, x squared times x to the first is x cubed, plus 2x squared times 1, just 2x squared. So you can see that when I look at my result here and compare it with this trinomial that I multiplied by 2x squared, each of these coefficients doubled. It's 6, 4, and 2. And then each of the exponents here, I have an exponent of 2, an exponent of 1, and this I can think of as x to the 0, has increased by 2. So here they multiplied the coefficients by 2 and then added 2 to each exponent. Our next problem, I have two binomials, x plus 3 times x plus 4. I need to multiply each term here by each term here. So I need to multiply x times x. I get x squared. X times 4. I get 4x. That takes care of x times each of these. Now I'll move to this 3 times x. I have 3x, and then 3 times 4, 12. So there's each term here times each term here. Some people like to call this the FOIL, F-O-I-L method, because the x squared, which I've listed under f, comes from the first two together. 4x comes from the outside terms multiplied. 3x is the inside terms multiplied. And 12 is the last terms multiplied. So first, outside, inside, last, and that will give you every combination of these terms here times these terms here. Now, 4x and 3x are similar, so I can simplify further into x squared plus 7x plus 12. So that trinomial right there is the product of these two binomials. Let's try another multiplication problem with binomials. 2x minus 5 times 3x minus 2. I'll multiply 2x times 3x, and then 2x times negative 2, and then negative 5 times 3x, and then 5 times 2. Negative times negative is positive, so I'll take care of that sign right there. First, outside, inside, last. 2x times 3x, 6x to the second. Minus 2x times 2, 4x. Minus 5 times 3x, that'll be minus 15x, and 5 times 2 is 10. Again, I have two similar terms right here. So I have 6x squared minus 4x, and 15x is 19x. And I'm adding two numbers with the same signs, two negative numbers, so the answer is negative, plus 10. So there, this trinomial is the product of these two binomials right here. The next thing I want to do is multiply a binomial times a trinomial. I want to multiply x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4. Now the FOIL method won't work right here, but the idea behind multiplication is the same. Each term here times each term here. So I'm going to set this up in a form that looks like long multiplication with whole numbers. I'll just write the two numbers one underneath the other, the two polynomials I mean. I'm going to multiply each term here times each of these terms. So I'll start with x times x squared is x cubed. X times minus 2x is minus 2x squared. X times 4 is 4x. That takes care of x times each of those three. Now I'll move on to the 2. 2 times x squared is 2x squared, and I'm going to write that underneath the term it's similar to. 2 times negative 2x is negative 4x. I write it underneath the term it's similar to, and 2 times 4 is 8. I write it off by itself. Now I'll add in columns here similar terms, x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus 8. So the answer here is x plus 2 times x squared minus 2x plus 4 is x cubed plus 8. This is the column method right here. It's just a way of organizing your work so that you multiply each of these terms times each of these terms right here. And that's multiplication with polynomials.